Good morning, scholars. Happy Tuesday. So today we're going to be still reviewing linear functions. Right now, I want to find the slope of each line. So when I look at a graph, I can see that there's one ordered pair that is already plotted. So there is already one pair on the graph. But I need to find a second one in order to find the slope. Oh, I lied. There's a second one. It's right there. Okay, so I can see the rise over the run just on this image. I don't have to calculate anything. When I go from down here, I'm rising 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I know it's going to be rise over run. My rise was 9 units. Now I look. If I start all the way over here, I'm going to run 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'm moving up and to the right, which means both of these numbers are positive. My slope is 9 over 4. I'm going to do one more with you. Here's number 2. We're going to start at the bottom right here. Again, rise over run. I'm going to rise 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times. And my run is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, since I'm moving to the left, my run is negative. So my slope is going to be negative right here. It's going to be 7 over negative 6. That is going to be my slope. Go ahead and try 3 and 4 with a partner. The directions are telling us to find the slope. So when I move on to 5 through 8, all I have to do is identify my m. Again, y equals mx plus b. That m is my slope. So as I look at my first equation, what's in the m space is negative 5/4. So this is my slope. As I move on to number 6, what's in the m space is negative 1/2. So my slope is negative 1/2. Go ahead and try 7 and 8 with a partner. Teachers, that should only take them about 2 minutes. Now I'm going to move on, find the slope of the line through each pair of points. So now I have to do my slope equation, which if you remember correctly is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So I'm going to go ahead and look at number 9, and I'm going to label my two ordered pairs. So 17 comma negative 6 and negative 11 comma 7. 17 is going to be my x1. Negative 6 is going to be my y1. 11 is going to be my x2. And 7 is going to be my y2. Here, I really appreciate when you guys label them out. It makes a lot of sense, and it's easier to plug it into the equation. So please do this as I do this. Okay. Once you have that down on your paper, we can move on. I'm going to go ahead and plug in the values. Y2 was 7, so I have 7. Y1 was negative 6. Don't forget, this turns into a minus a negative. So be careful on that. And then as I move down to my x values, I see my x2 is negative 11. So I'm going to go ahead and put in negative 11. And my x1 is 17 minus 17. Good. So this is 7 minus negative 6. Minus the negative turns into a positive. The top is 13. As I move on to the bottom, it's negative 11 minus 17. We're getting more negative. So it's going to be negative 28. So the slope for this one is 13 over negative 28, or negative 13/28. We're going to go over one more example, and then you guys can go ahead and try the rest with partners. Number 10. I have 3 comma 4 and negative 4 comma negative 5. Again, I'm going to label my x1, my y1, my x2, and my y2. And I'm going to plug it into my y2 minus, y1 over x2 minus x1. So I'm going to plug in my negative 5 is my y2 minus my y1 is 4 over my x2 is negative 4 and my x1 is 3. So again, I'm starting with the negative and making it more negative. So negative 5 minus 4 is negative 9 over negative 4 minus negative 3 is negative 7. But the trick is here you're dividing a negative by a negative, which ends up equaling a positive. So the final slope for this one is 9/7. Go ahead and try 11 and 12 with partners. And after you finish that, I'll move on to parallels and perpendiculars. So a parallel line, you guys, that means that it runs next to a line but never crosses it, just like railroad tracks. So here, if we had our coordinate plane, our two lines are right here. A parallel line, they never intersect, they never touch each other. So the slope of a line parallel to these lines would actually just be the same slope. So for number 13, I notice right here they give me the slope of 2/3, and I know a line parallel to that would have the same slope. Same with 14. Now a line perpendicular to each given line, that is going to go ahead and cross this equation. So here I have y equals negative 1/2 x minus 2. So anything that would intersect this equation would be perpendicular to it. So in this instance, I would do the reciprocal. So here, instead of saying negative 1/2, I would say negative 2. Here, instead of saying negative 1, I would say positive 1. We've already gone over the graphs. Just keep in mind that your 2 is your b value or your y-intercept, and your 3 is your m or your slope.